Hello and welcome to the Quibber channel. I'm Jason, your host. We're going to have a bit of a cooking stream in there here. Yeah. I'm on my Linux computer at the moment. It's a pain in the ass, it really is. Let's just no, Beryl. Just because I brought you up here doesn't mean you can have my phone. So I'm just trying to find a few items I need. Because it's like, oh my god. Let's just start up Discord and see if it's okay. We can have Discord in there. Yes, we've got Discord going. Discord's working at the moment. Oh, I love Linux. I don't think Linux sucks, but I do think it has many limitations. Hello, Azeal, the fluff. Can you hear me okay? It should be okay. The audio level should be on here. Hello, Electra. Azeal, the fluff. You're the fluff now. You're the fluff. The fluff. Oh. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you, Mr. Fluff. So I'm just going to start making food in a minute. Oh, I need to have my, need to have my morning tablets. My morning tablets. I have to have my morning tablets. Doo-be-doo-be-doo. Mr. Mrs. Fluff. Mr. Mrs. Fluff. So we can have Mr. Mrs. Fluff. Mr. Mrs. Mr. Fluff? Mrs. Fluff? I know. I'm just waking up. What you are, Azor, is a beautiful human being. And you're my friend. Even though now you've confused me by having another name, so now I've got to remember you as someone else. I'm glad you're here. So yeah, we're just having a little mellow talk in the kitchen. Have you used Linux? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. No worries about it. I'm only joking about things. I will remember you as this new one now. Have you changed your name in your chat as well? Or are you going to change your name of your chat? I would assume so. Oh, everything. Good. Just so that I know that when I see you, you know who you are. Azor is a nice name. Azor is a... Yes, I spent most of yesterday trying to get Linux to work. I both love it and I hate it. Yeah. So let's put my food on now because I'm very mellow because the weekend, of course, I went to all the open mic stuff and that. I got very little sleep. That's why we're starting this. I woke up at 10 a.m., which is good. 10 a.m. is good. It means I got at least an amount of sleep. Yes. Mayo is my saving grace. Mayo is my saving grace. Why is mayo my? I'll tell you why mayo is my saving grace. Because I can't have butter, margarine. I can't have dairy milk. So when I do mash, potato mash, I calm down. Yes, that notification doesn't mean at the front door. There's no one at the front door. Calm down. No, it's all to do with my bad issues, which means about 90% of food I can't eat. Well, you haven't heard about that, have you? But basically, in 2018, I had bowel cancer, as well as all the other stuff I'm dealing with. In 2018, I had bowel cancer, and they removed 40% of my bowels and a massive amount of lymph nodes. So they got rid of a lot of my gastric system, and that altered the way my body works. And now, 90% of food cause gastro reflux, where your stomach acid goes into your throat and can damage and all that kind of thing. So, unfortunately, I have to be very careful about what food. If I have vegetables, they've got to be nuked. I can't do vegetables steaming. I can't do them the healthy way. To eat about 3,500 calories a day instead of 2,000 calories a day. All these problems I have to deal with, and like I said, oh yeah, that will happen, unfortunately, on this new setup. There's nothing I can do about it because it's freaking Linux, and Linux is a complete bitch, as I'm finding out. Let me try out a different filter. Let me everything about Linux seems to be created to cause you more problems, more issues. And this isn't the best mic anyway. Okay, so that should be louder, but let's take it a little bit louder even than that. Let's see if we can pick up the gain. Let's pick up the game a little bit more. Of course, not going to do it properly, is it? It's not going to be as simple as Windows. I hate the intrusive nature of Windows, but this is absolutely sometimes. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a bit louder. So I'm just going to have to talk facing the actual thingy more, which is a problem. So yeah, I can't eat brown rice. I can't eat whole wheat. I can't eat soya. I can't eat pretty much most of it. Like my meal at the moment, what I'm going to do is a little risotto. I have to use basmati white rice because that's the only kind of rice I can have. So let's get the rice. Oh. This will still work. Focus, Jason. Focus, Jason. Hopefully the mic is going to work. Yes, the mic is working. Okay, we have the mic. So we're using my Instapot. Right, so we'll open Matty rice up. I can have Matty. There's Matty rice. I can have. So we need exactly 75 grams of rice. 75 grams of rice. 75 grams of rice goes in there. Just goes straight in there. No problems, no issues. Yeah, I know, but the problem is we can't have the noise cancelling turned off because there's too much stuff. If I was using it upstairs, it works better. I've tried it all, that kind of thing. You said, yeah, Instapot is amazing. If I turn off or open up the thing even more, we're going to have big problems because the sound in the kitchen is too much. Now, if I was in my upstairs, so let's and I'm using a crappy anyway. Okay, noise gate. I'm going to bin the noise bin. Okay, we'll bin that. Okay, so yeah, let me put in noise suppression, because I don't like that there's background noise, and there's going to be a lot of background noises with this. So yeah, let's see if it works. The problem is the Linux version of OBS is nowhere near as good as the Windows version. I mean, seriously, that it is. It's like, why would you do this to us? Why would you do this to us? So let's turn down this a bit. Hello, baby. I love you, Beryl. You're beautiful. So let me put that above the gain. Okay. Yes, Beryl does have a missing eye. I'll explain that after I've set up the meal. Let's finish the meal off here. Let's get the meal going because I'm late anyway. So what we do for the meal is this. Add some frozen spinach. So we've got 2 little bits and pieces of frozen spinach. Some frozen green beans in there. Nice amount of frozen green beans. And 2 sausages. There, that's that all ready. And I need to add one more thing. See, I can't use most spices. And I can't use gravy, and I can't use stock, so I can't have any of that stuff. But I can have certain soups, like vegetable soup, basic vegetable soup. So that's what I use as my spices and everything in one of these. So you pour that on top. And then we get 250 mils of water. Pour it in. Stir it around. Put the lid. So there we are. It's done. Now we can get back to talking. Yeah. So we just leave that going like that. So what happened with Beryl was this. She had Beryl. Her name is Beryl. Beryl. B-E-R-Y-L. B-E-R-Y-L. Beryl. Yeah, Beryl. So, hello, Beryl. What happened was she was playing in the kitchen. Our little Beryl was playing in the kitchen, wasn't you? You were playing in the kitchen, and she spun around, and completely freak accident, she managed to hit her eye on one of the chairs. And what happened was she detached the retina. Now, the choices were, when we took her to the vet, the choices were either to try to repair it, but the chances were that it wasn't, that only a 30% chance that it could be repaired, or remove the eye. So we decided to remove the eye because it doesn't bother her at all. Go on, I know you want to go explore. So that's how she lost her eye. Oh my God, yeah, dogs adapt so quickly. I mean, even a dog that loses a leg will adapt so quickly to that. We're far more bothered by it than them. Yeah, never bothers at all. Never stops to do anything. So yes, I love the Instapot. I've got the Instapot that's still got quite. It's the crispy duo, the really nice one that's got an air fryer built into it and everything. So you can even do air fryer stuff on that one. So yeah, feel free to ask me anything while we're waiting for the food to do. See, far to go. Everything's fine except for Linux sucks. Linux sucks. It does suck. It's like I can give you a wonderful. I'm going to do a vlog on Linux and how it sucks. And we're on my 5800H processor, the 3060. 3060 RTX in there. It's a nice little laptop, but I don't know, might do. But my main problem with it is this. I probably will post on there because let's take OBS for example. I use OBS in Windows, and OBS in Windows is brilliant. OBS Studio is fun, easy to use, no problems. But the problem is, for example, the OBS in Windows has something called a browser. When you can pick a part of the sources, you can choose a browser, you put in the URL, and your chat that's showing up shows up in the stream. And you can't do that on here. It doesn't have the ability. And the Linux version of OBS does not have a hook into games. It's as if they don't think people will use games on Linux. I mean, what the hook? It doesn't have a hook. You have to hook into Windows, the window of the game, not the actual game. Like the Windows version has. It's like, what? Yeah, it's a complete thing. And then you've got the problem of this. Like, I use Restream Chat. I use Restream Chat so I can view both YouTube chat, Twitch chat, Facebook chat while I'm streaming. It comes up in this little app. Now there is a Linux app, but it's for a different version of Linux than I'm using. There's like, must be 30 or 40 different derivatives of Linux. Some based on Debian, some based on other things. And they're all different. So you've got that limitation to you. So I love it. I mean, I love this version. I'm using the Garuda version, and the Garuda looks gorgeous. I'll show you it. I'll show the Garuda version. Let me just show you what the desktop looks like. It's gorgeous. Look, this is the Garuda desktop. It's gorgeous. It's got these buttons down here, and when you grab hold of something like that, let me grab it. It sort of waves about. You can actually, it's got a wonderful fixing setup. It's beautifully done. Got your stuff up all at the top. I love it. I do love it. And my main laptop is over there with it all stuff on and that. I love the icons. I love everything about it. Got OBS and Discord and all that stuff. It's a lovely little setup. But it's not my main setup upside. That's Windows and that. But I love the idea of Linux. I love the idea of using it like this. But there is so many limitations compared to how quickly and easily it is to use Windows. So it's no, but I'm happy to use normal Discord. I'm happy to use normal Discord. I don't do enough with Discord to need a better version of Discord. I don't trust add-ons. I don't trust any kind of add-ons for Discord. Even if it's an official add-on, it complicates matters. I do not want to complicate my version. I do not want to complicate my version of Discord. Yeah. So I love the look of it. Aesthetically, Linux is beautiful. The privacy side for Linux is amazing. The ability to control what anybody sees, the having an actual operating system that you own. You probably can't post a screenshot, unfortunately, because we had to take that out so people didn't do bad things on the chat. Oh, you can send it to me on Discord. Yeah. Let me have a look. It looks cute. Stop distracting me by things that I shouldn't be looking at. Why I'm on here. Leave me a message about. I find it hard enough to concentrate on things anyway because of my issues, so don't distract me. Send me pass me a. Why don't you send me a message on Discord just saying what it is, the better Discord, because I won't remember it from this. I won't remember it from this chat. There's like so many different things I've got to say. Oops. Hello? Hello? Whoever that was, I have no idea. Probably a spam call. I don't usually get phone calls. So who was that? Let's see. Let's go back to here and check. I'm going to redial that number and just check. Calm down, doggy. Stop being so excited. Oh, it's a spam call, yes. So let's go over to this and block it. Block it right now. Yes, block that number. Yep. So yeah. But you know me, I like challenges. So I'm not going to get rid of this. It's because I've got my main PC upstairs, and as long as this can do the cooking streams, it's okay. As long as it can do the cooking streams, it is okay. There's a few things I need to check. But I love the aesthetic of it, and I love the privacy. I love actually having an operating system that I own. That is a nice thing. That is a wonderful thing about having. Yeah, thank you. Having Linux. But there's so much that makes me want to just punch it in the face. Or grab it and go, why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why can't it be simpler? I'm going to just have to check what that is. Calm down. That was just, that was the traffic police thing. Yeah, ask me anything you want. That's the whole point of these streams. You can ask me anything you want. Ask away, ask away, ask away. Azeal the fluff, Azeal the fluff, Azeal the fluff. Hee hee, Azeal the fluff. Benchy, benchy, benchy. Yes, 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 yes. We do, yes, yes. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I was late diagnosed. I was first diagnosed. What? Okay. So let's go through my diagnosis history. When I was very young, very, very young, I was diagnosed with something called reactive depression. Reactive depression. Now, reactive depression is a blanket term, very, very vague. It was in the 1980s. I was classed as reactive depression, as in you've got depression and you're reacting to something that causes the depression, reactive depression. It was a bad diagnosis. It isn't a real diagnosis. So when, fast forward, because the people that knew me, first of all, I got a diagnosis of ADHD, which is attention deficit hyper disorder. And yes, I got an official diagnosis as having that. But while they were doing that, they actually said to me, hey, by the way, we think you've got something else as well. So then they did the tests and they found out I've got bipolar type 2. Now, bipolar type 2, this is where the depression comes in. Bipolar type 2 means that you spend most of your time, if this is the normal emotional level of a human being, happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. My normal emotional level that I live at all the time is down here in depression. I am naturally depressed. I can spike up into high and that, but my normal level is depressed. So that's bipolar 2 type 2. I've got that. I've also got PTSD to do with my wife's death. And at the same time, this was in this was when I was 48. They figured out that what is depression? I'm depressed all the time. I'm depressed all the time. It's a fight for me to not be depressed. My natural state is to be depressed. I am fighting all the time. Being on camera helps focus me. That's why I do all this. Remember, all this is part of the treatment. The fact that I don't seem depressed means that this is working. That being on camera is working. That's the difference. And they believe I'm autistic, but unfortunately, this is when COVID happened, and when COVID happened, the mental health service got overloaded. So I'm supposed to go for my actual face-to-face assessment, but I'm still waiting for the appointment to find out exactly where on the. They do think I'm thingy, but they haven't assessed whereabout on the spectrum or whatever you want to call it. I am. See, this is the thing. When you see me on here, and I'm happy in that, that's because this is working. When I turn off the stream and I have to turn on my audible books with my noise cancelling headphones so I can function around the house, I will also seem okay. But if I don't have them on, within 5 minutes I can be in a ball on the floor. I can be catatonic. I have to have coping strategies for everything. To cope with the depression. I can't just be happy. I have to have something that focuses me. Yeah, it's one of my favorite one. Oh, 2 minutes away. So yeah, and having projects like this Linux system is very good. Someone's outside my front door. I don't know who it is. Actually, why am I going to the front door? Why am I going to the front door to check? Yes, I am in remission from bowel cancer. So let's use my camera on in the front room. Yeah, you can ask me anything. I have my GERD, which we've explained, and I'm in remission from bowel cancer. I'm not cured. I'm in remission from bowel cancer. It could come back, so that's a joy. So there's no one at the front. I think I'm supposed to get a parcel today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to check upstairs. Can't check here. So each day I'm going to try to add something to Linux. Yes, Bertie, you're beautiful. I know you're beautiful. But don't climb up on my... You're too big, Bertie. Bertie can't get on my lap down here. He would destroy this chair. This chair has a limit. And we're close to the limit, aren't we? With me sitting on the chair. So you sitting on the chair would be a bad thing. Welcome back, far to go. You can ask me anything. So part of all these problems I have means that basically VR and all this. Ooh, yummy. So plov. Plov, I think it, which one is plov? Which one is plov? You're making food. It's plov. I'm assuming it's not a shotgun. It's food. I'm assuming it's not a weird Russian type of defense plan. Yeah, the beep beep of the thingy has gone off. So what is plov? Oh, pilaf. Yay, I know pilaf. Ooh, yay. Ooh. Pilau rice. In the UK, it's called pilau rice. Plov. I prefer plov. I like the name plov now. My favourite food is any food I can eat. I can't have pizza anymore. Most of my favourite foods I can no longer eat. Can't have pizza, can't have ice cream, can't have cake, can't have cheese, most of cheese. Jason? I always say at the start of my streams it's usually, hello and welcome to the Queber channel. I am Jason, your host. Dooby dooby doo. What you see is what you get. Oh God, it took so long to figure out that. Oh God, that's a horrible thing. You see, in 2019, when I decided to start doing this, thank you. When I decided to start doing this, at that time, my channel was called The Edge of Midnight. That had a different term. Well, my YouTube channel was Edge of Midnight. My Twitch channel was already Queber and others, so I had to change them. Now, back then, the idea was this. When me and my consultant figured out how much technology was helping, and everybody said that I should start doing this kind of thing, what are you doing now? So I bought myself a mic, and the first mic I bought myself was this. This is my backup mic. This is the Snowball. It's a backup mic because I was very frustrated with it. It works fine. You hear it fine. But the thing is, when I first started it, I did this. It was like, hello and welcome to the Edge of Midnight channel. I am Jason, your host. That was going to be my intro. And it was for quite a while. But then I would stop the recording and I would listen to how I sound. Big mistake. Big mistake. Never listen to your own voice on recording. Oh my God. Never listen to it. But I had never heard my own voice before, and it sounded different than what I understood my voice to be. And so I spent the next 30 hours in total. I didn't go to bed. I didn't do anything else. I just sat upstairs saying, hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. Well, welcome to the Edge of Midnight channel. I am Jason, your host, over and over again, recording it and trying it again. And then, any reason? Just because it doesn't fit with my brain. Like, the F word became frick. And if something's messed up or screwed up, instead of saying the word screwed up, I say scrufuffle and things like that. I've just created my own word system which works better with my brain. It's nothing to do with not being able to swear and that. It's just to do with, yeah, it doesn't like those words. Not because they're curse words, but just doesn't like the sound of those words. So, so my brain just comes up with other words that fit the same kind of thing. It still has the same kind of punch, just different. Like frickin' hell. I prefer frickin' hell to the normal word. Frick. I'm fricked off. And yeah, chicken soup vendor. Chicken soup vendor, you've noticed chicken soup vendor, and I can tell you the origin of chicken soup vendor. Chicken soup vendor, it's a phrase that my brain says when you'll hear it a lot on my streams when I'm excited, when my brain can't think of a word, it will replace the word with chicken soup vendor. Or an emotional state, if I'm very excited, chicken soup vendor will come up. For example, holy chicken soup vendor, Batman. Things like that will happen. Chicken soup vendor came from 1982. My father was in a crash. He saved my mum's life, actually, but he went into a coma for 6 months. And so he was 32, and I spent 6 months visiting my dad in a hospital. I was 12 years old, and outside of the hospital room was a food vending machine. Now, a little bit of research. Stop asking me questions, so many questions. I have to finish one thing before you ask the next thing. That's the thing. You've got to wait. Let me finish the stories before you ask something else. It distracts me too much when you do that. So let's stay on that. So every day I would go outside the room where my dad was in a coma, and this vending machine was broken. All it could provide was chicken soup. So, chicken soup vendor. It stuck with my brain, chicken soup vendor. And so whenever my brain can't think of a word or has some sort of car crash in here that stops me saying what I want to say, and that phrase comes out, chicken soup vendor. So that's where the chicken soup vendor idea comes from. And that it's just a subconscious phrase that's been there all my life since then. Now, far to go. My father's death was the first example of what I call true love. You see, everybody talks about true love. Everybody talks about true love. Would you like to hear why I class his death as an example of true love? Okay, so they went to visit some friends of theirs. We knew these friends because we used to breed dogs. My dad did, and so they had one of our dogs. And so they had been there, they had had their lunch, it was a Sunday, and then they were coming back home through the narrow little roads in between a small village. And my dad was a mechanic, and he was in a little Mini. This Mini he was actually putting together for my mum so my mum could learn to drive. And so this Minis don't have that much protection. And what happened was he was coming down, he was a very good driver, my dad was. He knew exactly, he fixed all his own cars. And all of a sudden, as he was coming down this hill, from what we understand, the linkage between the steering wheel and the steering wheel and the actual wheels snapped. He lost 90% of control of the vehicle. Now, people actually saw this happen. There was people walking up on either side of the actual thingy, so there were witnesses. So, and unfortunately, coming up the hill was a big lorry. And so, he said to my mum, brace yourself, this is going to be bad. Because they were travelling about 35, 45 miles down this thingy within the speed limit, but so he told my mum to brace herself, which she did, but he didn't. He kept his hands on the wheel to steer the car. He managed to steer it around the lorry, and I don't know if you have them, these great big wooden telegraph poles that have electrical wires and telecommunication wires on great big poles of wood. And so when he angled the car away from the actual lorry, he was heading towards this pole. Now, the witnesses say that what they saw was he actually struggled with the vehicle steering and made sure that the pole hit his side of the car, not my mum's. So right up until the end, he was trying to save my mum's life. And of course, a little Mini doesn't have any kind of crash protection. This is cars from the 70s and 60s. They are basically just, it crumpled completely into its driver's side. My mum survived the crash with a little bit of whiplash injury from the seatbelt. No, not a mark on her. But my dad never came out of the coma. And he died 6 months later. But that is an example of true love. That is an example of putting someone else before themselves. Yeah, he knew what was going on. He knew how little control he had of the car, and he chose to put himself in harm instead of my mum. That kind of thing is an amazing self-sacrifice that most people can't do. Most people couldn't do that. And so, yeah, he just told my mum to brace herself that it's going to be bad because he knew he had lost almost complete control. I think one of the links on the left-hand side was still on. So he had a tiny little bit of control over the wheels, just a tiny little bit of control of the steering, just enough to avoid the lorry, but not enough to avoid the post. So that's what happened. And so you asked me a question up here. You asked me a question when I was talking. What question did you ask me? Oh, I've still got any family yet. I've got a sister. We're not close, but I've got a sister. But that's really the only family I've got. My mum my mum's still alive, but she's in end stage dementia. So she's not there anymore. My mum isn't. She's at the end stage of dementia where there's nothing left of who she is, and so she just yeah, far to go. Completely agree with it. People use the word true love too easily. I know that I was truly in love with Paola, and I still truly am in love with Paola, because most people, me and Paola were only boyfriend and girlfriend when she was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And it's only in the movies where they say, oh yes, we'll stick together. That's bullshit. Most people run a mile. Even my own friends, when they learned that Paola had cancer, told me to leave her. That my so-called friends told me to leave her, that I was going to ruin the rest of my life if I stayed with her. So it's people suck. So I instead ditched my friends and stayed with Paola. And I don't regret those 20 years of looking after Paola at all. I got to spend 20 years with an amazing woman. Yeah, they're not friends. They have no idea what true love is. And this is the problem. We see the words true love and that in films and that too much. It's very rare, true love, and it's actually a good thing that true love is rare, because if true love was common and everybody had true love, then the world would grind to a halt. Yeah. If everybody had true love, then the world would grind to a halt. Yeah. I will never get over my wife's death. She will always be my first love. And I still adore her. So yeah. But yeah, true love is very rare. And it needs to be very rare because, like I said, most people that are in relationships are not at that level. So if they break up, if the person cheats and that, they can survive it. She was an amazing woman. She taught me she made me appreciate life. It's like I joke about it, but it's true. I appreciate every day I'm alive, and I do all the things I do because simply Paola would kick my ass if I didn't. She gave me an amazing example of appreciating life. Oh. I'm feeling better today. I'm feeling better today because for the people that don't know, I have an online girlfriend. We've been together since 2019. I don't talk about her much because she's a very private person, and so I don't talk about her. But sometimes you'll see her on chat. She'll come on chat as Kayla, or Fox, or Little Fox, or something like that. You'll know when she's on, and I'll know when she's on because I'll always say, yay. She lives in America, I live in the UK. We both deal with a lot of trauma and stuff like that, so we connect on that level. So we watch films together. We met on Second Life, and we've been together ever since. We watch films together on Discord and chat and that. And she's not feeling very well. In fact, she's very ill at the moment. She's getting a little bit better, but she's very ill at the moment. And so she's not around as much. And I hadn't heard from her for a few days and I was freaking out. Yeah, the whole point is, as you know, you can connect with someone and they can become that special person to you, no matter the distances. In fact, connecting to people online, if as long as you're honest with each other, can be the most amazing things, because you don't have all that normal stuff that gets in the way. You can actually talk to them. Oh, that's awesome. That is a wonderful thing. I'm so glad. I've got a few friends like sometimes you will see Jennifer and Artemis on the channel sometimes, and they are meeting up soon. I think it's in March. He's going to meet her. She's in Canada, and thinking, but yeah. So Kayla used to play lots of games with me, but she's ill at the moment. She's been ill for quite a while. But I hadn't heard from her for like 4 days, and I was getting really, really worried about it. I thought she had passed away, and something I was not. I was freaking out about that these last few days. It's one of the reasons I needed to mess with Linux. I needed something yesterday to focus my brain. She finally logged back on last night. She's just been extremely ill and resting as much as possible. But she's feeling a little bit better. Still got a lot of problems to deal with, but she's feeling a little bit better. So I'm happy about that. But relationships are amazing. But you're right, Fartigu, it's very hard. There's so many shallow people, there's so many acquaintances, there's so many people who don't understand what care means and what love means. It's horrible. It's like the whole world is superficial these days. And there's so many people who are into playing these crappy mind games and not telling people their true feelings and all that kind of thing. It's horrible that we're in that position. Anyway, it's time for me to stop this. Oh yeah, Azeal, yeah. It sucks, and it really sucks that. So I'm going to log all this off now. I'm going to shut all this down. And I'm going to have something to eat. No. Let's open it up. Let's open it up and show you. Let's open it up. I will just mix it up a little bit. Chop up the sausages. So it's sausage, rice, beans, and you just mix it up a little bit. So there we are. That is the rice and the spinach and the sausages and the vegetables. Yay! Yeah, it's wonderful how that does, yeah. And of course, because it's the high level one, it's got also... Oh, hello, Silent Girl is someone I've met a long time ago. She's wonderful, and met her on Twitter. Silent Girl is awesome. And very much she lurks a lot, but I know she watches a lot of the streams and that. So yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this one is I've got the... If I change the lid, I'll just show you on this. If I change the lid, if we take this lid off, down there, then this lid here goes on top, and this is the air fryer. So this is a full air fryer. So it's got a full air fryer as well. So it can do all the air fryer by putting this inside it. Using it as an air fryer, so it does everything. It did that Instapot. It's the Instapot Pro Crisp air fryer. It does everything. It's called the Instapot Pro Crisp. If you look that up, you can do any. You can even bake cakes in it. You can bake cakes in it. You can do You can saute, steam. Literally everything can be done in there. Yeah, yeah. It's a replacement for nearly everything in the kitchen. I believe you can do bread in it. And as you see, it does perfect rice. It's perfect for, you can, I've cooked chickens in it. You can cook chickens really well in it. You can air fry entire chickens in it, and they come out really nice. Whenever I have a chicken, I cook it in there. And it's amazing little thing. I haven't tried make a cake myself. Instapot. Let's just see if I can find the cake recipe. Okay, let me have a look. I've got it here. Let me just increase the size of there. Right, let me send this. There. No, she's asking. Now she's asked. No, she's asking what kind of cake it does. Silent bakes amazing cakes, baking cakes. So there's lots of cake recipes for it. Yeah, Silent Girl is dealing with a lot of problems we've talked about before, and part of her coping strategies is she bakes beautiful cakes. She'll make ones that look like horses, and she's amazing at making cakes. Yeah. So, I mean, the Instapot, you can use it for freaking everything. You can literally. So that's like I've always said, people who are dealing with trauma and that, they find their own coping mechanism. My coping mechanism is computers and doing all this. And her coping mechanism is the act of baking and creating amazing cakes, beautiful cakes. Silent makes a lot of patience and swears, yeah. And M&Ms, don't forget the M&Ms. And she's got a gorgeous dog. She's got a wonderful dog. She has an absolutely wonderful dog, a Saint Bernard called Betty, who is like 3 times the size of her. Oh, so yeah, you are all wonderful. Doggies and catties. Oh. So yeah. Oh, wonderful. Now I'm going to just do this. So I've got to remember, you see, that I'm using the web browser version of the chat. Yeah, we're all wonderful. Like I say, I point out to everyone, we're all amazing and awesome and wonderful because we're here today. Because we've coped with all the crap in our world. And because we've dealt with our problems, because we're being true to ourselves, like you, Azeal, you're being true to yourself. You can be yourself. You've faced all those things in their past. Yeah. Silent Girl, you're still here after all that you've faced. You're amazing and so strong. And far to go, you're so strong as well because of what you've dealt with and what you're dealing with even now. Every single day you're still here is amazing. And people don't remember just how amazing they are. If you're here and you coped with yesterday, you coped with all the yesterdays beforehand, then you are freaking amazing. You are absolutely amazing because you did that. Because you coped with what life has thrown at you, and you are here today. Just the fact that you're here today means that you're stronger than you ever believed you could be, and that you're amazing. And that's the message that we've got to make sure to remind people about what's going on in that and who they are. I do motivational speaking in VR and that, and I would love to do all that kind of thing, but I can't ever turn things into, I do that an awful lot. Cookies. We have cookies. It's like I always say, one of the most important things, pizza, 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 pizza. God damn that world and that soundbite, pizza, pizza, pizza. There's a VRchat world where you pick up pizzas from currency as you're going around the world, so you can buy guns in the world. And every time you pick up a pizza, it says pizza, pizza, pizza. So pizza, 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 pizza. Pizza. Oh, but yeah. One of my favourite videos that I ever did was, it was called just 2 letters. It was called, that was the title, Be You, as in, be you. Everybody should be able to be themselves. Everybody should be able to be true to themselves. I know some people can't because of their situation or where they live, but be you. You've got to be able to be yourself at some point in time. Otherwise, what's the point? And I know trans people deal with that problem so much. So being able to be you is amazing. To be true, to find the true you, to be able to just be. It seems so simple, doesn't it? It should be a basic thing that everybody can be themselves. But unfortunately, the world tries to compartmentalize us, stick us in a little box. School, college, university, career, society always tries to put us in these little boxes that don't really ever fit anyone, because it makes things easy. But everybody deserves to be themselves, to be you. Just be you. It's wonderful. It's something that, it's a base, I think it's like a base thing that humanity, that for a civilization, that you should be able to be yourself. I mean, we're not asking too much. We're not asking for a lot, are we, just to be able to be ourselves? That shouldn't even be a thing that we have to say. Yeah. Yeah, you've got to fight to be yourself. The dogs are. Someone's got a car outside my house. Let me have a look at my. My dogs have been very good, and yeah, on the main street. They're just, yeah, it's just people walking past. People are allowed to walk past the house, Bertie. They're allowed to walk past the house. No, it's still very hot because it's still inside the actual pot. So, yes, I should go eat. You all have a splendiferous day, you wonderful special people. So, bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye. Oh, little dog is beautiful. Yes, you are. Yes, dog is beautiful. Yes, Bertie, yes, Bertie. And I'll give the doggies their foodie. So bye-bye for now, you wonderful people.